Good morning, friends. So I got up today and I was wrong about the weather. It's still here. It's crazy. It's just raining and raining and raining. Kind of sucks. Really weird. I went out and took digs out today and there's this weird, it looked like a little catfish, but it was only like 5 inches long and it was flopping all over the sidewalk. Really strange. There's a lot of weird stuff happening here in Florida. I don't know how to deal. The rain is so bad that, the rain is so bad that they're closing down roads, all kinds of stuff. So it's just been flooding everywhere. So that's kind of crazy. I think we got a break in the rain, so I'm gonna try to go for a run here and then come back and make some food and hang out with Diggs. And I'm trying to convert a bunch of my videos over to, I have this 1 terabyte hard drive, right? This guy. But when I set it up on my old laptop, which is a PC laptop, and now it won't, I can view stuff on my Mac, but I can't get it to let me transfer anything through the Mac. Pain in the butt. So then I got this Wolverine, which is this old guy, but it allows me to like plug my memory cards in here, which is pretty cool, and then just boom, hit the button and it just dumps everything off the memory card so I can wipe them clean when I'm on site somewhere. So now I gotta try to transfer, because this guy's full, I gotta try to transfer everything from here onto there, but I gotta do it through this old laptop. It currently says 2 hours and 10 minutes remaining. People are always like, hey, how come your videos are so good? And it's because I'm a film student at Full Sail, and I actually have this little production company called Bear Beard Productions, because there's a bear and it's in a beard. See what I did there? Pretty fancy. So that's what that is. So if you ever see that logo anywhere, you know it's me. I was on Facebook this morning, and it says your memories on Facebook. 2 years ago, you posted this, 185.8. I'm 182 right now. So 2 years ago, I was doing okay, and then I took off and went back to like 200 pounds, and now I'm down to 182 and still dropping till this guy goes away a little bit. Yeah, I thought that was cute. Alright, so going for a run. Catch you later. Halfway through this water. So much water. Check out my workstation right now. Dueling laptops. Not to mention that guy over there. This is how I worked all day today. Yeah. Star Wars kicks. What? So fresh and so clean, clean. Alright, I gotta go to a meeting. So, I don't know. Maybe you'll see it. Who knows? Remember back in the day? Oh man, is that a house speaker? Okay, what's happening everybody? So I decided to do another chili today because I got a ton of stuff in the fridge and I don't want it to go bad. So I'm just gonna chop up a bunch of stuff and throw it in so you get to watch, so you can make this stuff too. It's super easy, it's delicious, and it's awesome to keep around. Especially if you're like me and you live by yourself and you've got a ton of food that you'd love to make but nobody to feed it to. This is one of those things you can definitely store. You can put half of it in the freezer, or you know, just crush it in a couple of days like I do. Alright, so it's super simple. Take a big pot or a deep pan. I like my deep pan just because I can make it cook faster, but large pot will work too. I always start around like medium-high heat, throw in a little olive oil. Then what I went ahead and did, I had half a red onion already chopped. So I'm throwing in half a red onion, the other half of a white onion, some jalapeno, and a clove of garlic. I'm just going to toss them all in the oil right now and let them all kind of cook together. People always think of chili and think like, oh, I only eat that when it's snowing or when it's cold outside. I don't know why. It's super easy. It's just a convenient food for me, so that's what I eat. Yesterday, I made burgers and I used half a rutabaga and half a sweet potato for fries, and I've got the other half left. I think I'm going to throw in some rutabaga. Rutabaga is a root vegetable. If you don't know anything about rutabagas, look them up. They're good for you, but all root vegetables are pretty good for you. They're easy to digest, sort of the consistency of a potato. Not the same flavor though, especially a sweet potato, because sweet potato is a bomb. I'm just going to cube these up because I want to make sure they cook through by the time this is done. So go ahead and cube those up. I'm going to throw in some broccoli. I'm also going to throw in some cauliflower. I think I'm just gonna throw in whatever I have left, just like half a head. And I'll probably just use, like this came in 2 bunches, I'll probably just use 1 bunch of broccoli. So when it comes to just like size-wise, like I just break off the little florets or cut them off, whatever's easy. And then I just cut them into 4. So I'll cut them in half once and then cut it in half again. So then they come out looking like these guys. Pretty easy, but that way they're cooked pretty well through by the time this is done. For a long time, the doctor told me to stay away from onions and garlic and those things. And the reason I had to stay away from them is because I was poisoning my system with all that other stuff, like gluten and dairy and all that stuff. And now that I don't have that stuff in there, I can eat onions and garlic and jalapenos all day long. And my stomach's like, yeah, no problem, bring it on in. But if I was doing that other stuff, especially the gluten, destroyed. Couldn't eat any of that stuff. And I love it. Like right now, my house smells fantastic. It's pretty awesome. So that was my rant on that. I'm gonna finish cutting this stuff up. This is something you don't have to, it doesn't take a ton of time to prep either. You kind of just throw everything in a pot and let it go for 45 minutes or an hour. Obviously, the longer you let it simmer, the more flavor comes out, but you know what? I'm gonna heat this stuff back up like 6 or 7 more times before I finish it all, so not worried about that. I'm hungry, I wanna eat now. Or soon, anyway. Okay, just gonna toss all this stuff right in with the onions. These are now pretty soft. I'm gonna add a little extra oil. Boom. The goal right now is to just start heating this stuff up and bring out a little extra flavor, toast it up a little bit. I'm not trying to cook it all the way through or any of that stuff. It's gonna basically boil as opposed to me pan searing any of this stuff. Okay, so this next part is totally up to you, but what you wanna make sure you do is get yourself a couple cans of diced tomatoes. I always try to get A, organic, and then B, I try to get the ones that have the extra stuff in them, like extra basil and garlic. This is basil, garlic, and oregano. I got this for like $1 a can at Publix. So I'm gonna throw in, these are fire roasted, so I'm gonna throw in a can of fire roasted and a can of just the diced with the extra stuff in it. Just do 2 cans of that. It's up to you whether you want them diced or do them whole. You can do them whole too and then chop them up later. Totally up to you. So I'm gonna go a can of this, boom. If I get 2 different brands, you can always guarantee that there's 2 different consistencies too, which is kind of neat. I like it to be a little bit thicker. So right now that's just my veggies and 2 cans of diced tomatoes in there. It's still pretty thick, but as those vegetables start to cook down, they'll add more liquid to it, and I'll probably add maybe half a can of water to this also at some point. This next part's also completely up to you. Beans. I just decided to buy some crazy stuff, so I bought some northern beans, which is like a white bean, some kidney beans. You can get dark red, light, it doesn't matter what color they are, just kidney beans. You can throw in pinto beans, garbanzo beans. It's not a bad idea. I think I'm gonna do that. All right, so my plan for today is to do 3 cans of beans. 1 northern, 1 pinto, 1 garbanzo. I keep garbanzo beans around my house all the time. Chickpeas are the jam. If you didn't know the difference, they're the exact same thing. Chickpeas are awesome, and this is how I make hummus too, so I keep a couple cans of this around. Turn that down to like medium, because I don't want it to overcook. And that'll buy me some time while I crack open these cans of beans. I'm gonna actually rinse these beans out. I don't want to toss them in with all of their canned juices. So I'm gonna take this over here, toss it in a wire strainer, rinse them off real quick, and then throw them in. Northern beans, boom, 1 can. Okay, the other thing I've got is like another half a carton of palmy tomato sauce. Doesn't matter what brand you get. You can even get canned stuff if you want. I just had it around, so I'm gonna use it. Made in Italy, just like me. No, I wasn't, I was made here. Good to go. So I'm gonna throw in, it's only like half full, so I'm gonna throw in half. This place smells awesome. Okay, chickpeas are rinsed, they're going in. Oh my God. This is a hearty chili already. That's looking pretty thick. But I'm still gonna throw in 1 more can of beans. We're gonna go ahead and do our pinto beans, because what chili is chili without pinto beans? All right, 1 can of pinto beans. Mmm. Boom. I don't think I can fit another thing in this chili, but I'm gonna. So the cool part about this recipe is that if you don't have stuff, just don't throw it in. If you don't like stuff, just don't put it in there. You're gonna want some things though, like I don't eat onions, But you're gonna wanna cook with onions a little bit. You're gonna wanna make that part of your base. It adds flavor to your food. If you're not eating raw onions, fine, but definitely throw some onions in your chili. All right, so this is what we've got right now. That's pretty thick. It's almost like there's no liquid in there at all. But it's gonna it'll thin out a little bit as it cooks through. Delicious. I can't wait to get into this. All right, all of our veggies are going, right? Now it's time to add some spices. I'm gonna add some salt. Himalayan pink salt is the way to go if you're gonna do salt. Don't use regular old table salt, it's terrible for you. Himalayan pink salt is the way to go. I'm gonna add cumin, chili powder, some oregano, and some cayenne pepper, or red pepper. That's pretty much it. My measurements are, I kind of wing it. It's a big dish, so I'm gonna put in about, I don't know, a tablespoon of salt. Chili powder, you wanna add some chili to your chili, right? So, about right. At least 2 tablespoons, if not 3. Oregano, like a tablespoon? I don't know. It's just oregano, you can't hurt yourself on it. I keep a ton of cumin in my house. Just so good. It's probably a tablespoon and a half. Again, I'm winging it. So what you'll do is you'll make this a couple times just like I'm doing. You'll figure out what you like and what you don't like, what you need to add more of. Just keep tasting it too. So after, I'm gonna let this cook for like 20 minutes, then I'm gonna taste it. If I need to add something else, I can add more seasoning. The rest is pretty easy. So now it's all mixed up. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna throw like 1/3 of a cup of water. Just thin it out a little bit. Just 1/3 of a cup. So now I've got it on like medium heat. I'm gonna leave it just like that and throw a top on it. It's 10:15 right now. I'll probably start eating by 11 o'clock, but I'm gonna keep checking it every 15 minutes, stir it up, make sure it's good to go. Taste it a couple of times and make sure I don't need to add something or I've done too much of something and need to balance it out. That's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. So we'll see how it comes out when I'm done. I almost forgot the last thing I'm gonna add to this today. I prepped quinoa a lot, like a cup of quinoa earlier this week. And so I'm going to toss in some of this at the very end because it's already cooked, so it doesn't need to be in there for very long, but I'm going to toss some in just before I decide to serve it. Let it warm up in there and be in there. Just add some extra protein, some extra good stuff in there. It's just the way I like it. I like my chili super thick, so that's what I'm going to add. Is your last ingredient is some quinoa. I have my name tag on through this whole video. Why didn't you guys tell me? It's so embarrassing. It's on medium heat right now. I think I'm going to put it down to low and just let it simmer now for the next half hour. Then it's ready to go. Yeah. So I've got like 15 minutes left on this. I'm going to go ahead and take a cup and a half maybe of quinoa. So we'll do like 15 minutes and then we should be good to go. The things you do when you forget your camera's on. Boom, there she is. Oh, so good. So, I'm gonna eat this, I'm gonna watch some Star Wars, and I'm gonna call it a night. I put that stuff on Instagram and everybody was like, oh, chili! So, nobody cares that it's summer. Oh, somebody cares, somebody wants chili.
Commander, tear this ship apart until you found those plans and bring me the passengers I want them alive. There's one, set for stun. Before Lord Vader, we have a prisoner.
Oh, that's some good chili. Well, it's been an interesting day. Y'all got another recipe, so I'm pretty stoked about that. I wasn't gonna do it because I got a ton of food in the fridge, but I'm glad I made it. It's pretty awesome. So, try that out. Let me know if you enjoy it. Let me know if you have any tweaks you think I should try. That'd be pretty awesome too. Folks, again, my name's Nick. I really appreciate you watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that button now. I'm still working on that tagline.
I'll get it figured out eventually. Maybe I'll just start telling people, watch your mouth. This is another episode of US Organic.
Can you